everybody, welcome to West Virginia. My name is Cheryl and this is my channel, Tranquil Stitches. Today is Sunday, May 15th, 2022, but you'll see this probably Monday or later. And this is my FlossTube episode number 138. I hope you're having a good day. This is my mid-May update, so I'd like to share with you what I've been up to this month and visit with you for a little while. I hope you're having a good day. It's overcast here and it's been raining, and it cools things off at first and then it gets muggy, right? So it's muggy, but it's a beautiful day. The sky's got some clouds in it and it threatens rain, but I don't think it's going to. The weatherman has really been off lately, honestly. And I say weatherman, but it's our local news station. They say they say it's going to rain, it doesn't, and when it's not supposed to rain, it does. I don't. You would think that with the technology we have these days, that they would be able to tell more about it. But I think it's the mountains here. I think that they can't anticipate down in these deep valleys, what the mountains are going to hold off and what they're going to allow by. So I think that's got a lot to do with it. But I sure wish they'd get it right a little bit more, because my husband works outside a lot. He piddles and does a lot of things outside, and he depends on, the weather to know what he can do and can't do that day. So, I'll tell him weather says it's going to rain, and then it doesn't rain, and he's wasted, Anyway, I digress. It's just, you would think that, I don't know, it's 2022. You would think they would figure it out. I have been stitching like crazy this month. I've got a lot of progress in. I've got quite a few projects to show you. I've got 6 new starts. I went a little nuts this month. 6 new starts. Whipco has a lot to do with those. Quite a few of them, but my best friend has something to do with the others. So we've run a little amok. So I'd like to share that and document for myself my mid-May update, and let you see what I've been up to. So speaking of Whipco, Jessie Marie drew 3 numbers for the month of May instead of 2, because she drew the number 13, the free space. Some people choose to have it as a free space, and I've always made it a new start. So she drew the number 13, which is a new start, and I can't mark it off until I have 500 stitches in it. So that's one new start. My project 22, I have a list of 25 projects that I want to start this year, and based on the Whipco numbers, that's the projects I start. Well, she drew 3 numbers, and my 13 on my project 22 list is a new start. It's specified a new start. So that is 3 more new starts. So that's 4 right there, just because of Whipco. So I threw a couple extras in there just because I wanted to. So my best friend and I started a couple projects together. She has the same patterns. We have the same taste. We do. So we started a couple of them together. The first one, well, I think I got it in April, and it's Primitive Hares. A few have died. Isn't that? Oh my gosh, it cracks me up. It says, many have eaten here, few have died. I have to have that for my kitchen. My kids will get such a kick out of that. But she and I wanted to start this, and we started it on May 1st. So she, it's really neat to see what colors she chose for hers, and, the differences in our stitching. And we enjoy seeing each other's progress. She starts at a different place than I do, and, it's just a lot of fun. So I started this one on May 1st. I got 519 stitches in it, and this is my free start on my actual Whipco board in the center square. So here is my progress. Lord mercy, I put the camera on the other side. Few have died by Primitive Hare. Many have and few have. And I changed the H's up a little bit because it had a couple more stitches in there. And that font is a little hard to read in the first place, but You know, it just makes it more interesting. And I chose like a neon green because of the slime coming out of the cauldron. So this, you know, this is looking like Halloween. And I've been thinking about it because I would kind of like this to look kind of aged and primitive, and, you know, so I'm actually thinking about starting this over on a different fabric. This is just one I found in my stash, and it looks gray, but it's kind of a greenish gray. So I'm thinking about it. I don't know. We'll see. By the time I get ready to stitch on it again, I'm going to see how I feel about it, but I think that's the way I'm leaning anyway. On May 2nd, I started my new Blue Ribbon Designs ornament. This is an Easter Wishes, and this is Benevolence. This is my 5th ornament from the Valentine or Easter series. I'm doing both this year. And in this one so far, I've got 882 stitches. So that's Benevolence so far. So I did the same thing with the Easter one, and the stitch count is a little different, you know, for the border and the little flowers. I just kind of count it all up on one, and then it's the same on every, may you be blessed with is the same on every one. So when I stitch another one, I already know how many stitches are in it. Don't have to recount it. Now, she drew number 8. And number 8 on my Project 22 list is October 31st by Kathy Barrick. So that was my 3rd start. And I did start it on the 8th of May. I saw this when Diana and I were at Cross Stitch Station in Waynesboro. And I saw this one on the wall as a model, and I had to have it. I asked her, I said, do you remember this one? And she remembered. She said, oh my gosh, I remember you getting that from, you know, when we were in Waynesboro. And that was years ago. So she remembered too. I thought that was cool. But instead of the neutral fabric, I chose a purple fabric, and she and I were talking about it, and I'm putting, making my letters purple. So you know, on Halloween, I like to add a little purple in there. So in this one, 500 stitches even, and there's my progress on it. That was, you know, it's a lot of fun. It's, I don't know, it looks like an even weave. No, it's a linen. It's a purple, just hand-dyed linen that I had in my stash. And then the purple that I'm using for the letters is a Carrie's Creation. I think it's grape or something like that. But other than the letters, I'm not going to change anything else. So that's my start on that one. Okay. She also drew number 14, and somehow I got these two mixed up in my head because I started number 14 on the 13th and number 13 on the 14th, but that's, I mean, it's irrelevant to you, but I got mixed up. Anyway, this is Antique Christmas Sampler by Elizabeth's Designs, and I am loving the way this one is turning out. I'm using the called for, but there is some purple in, now see, purple in Christmas I'm taking out. There is some purple in this chart, and I'm not going to use purple. So I'm going to stick to the reds, greens, and goldish yellow and white, I think. But I got 534 stitches in this one to give it a start, and there's where it is. And you can see the flowers. They're done in Snowflake from Weeks, I believe. I think it is charted in Weeks. But that's my start, and I love, love, love those colors. It calls for a buttercream linen, so I found this really, really pale yellow in my stash, and it's just looking. This is an even weave. It's a little challenging for me to work on even weave. I'm doing it 2/2. It's like a 32 count, I do believe, but I like the way it's looking, so happy with that. So that's my 4th start for May. My 5th start same day. Same day I started. Now I didn't get all these stitches in it, but I until the, you know, I started it in the evening and then finished up my goal of 500 the next day. So it was Friday the 13th, and this is part of my retail therapy. And she also ordered hers at the same time, and we both got it, and we both started it on 5/13. So this, I just could not resist. This is, I think this is one of, is it one of my market picks? I think it was, but this is Disturbed Women by Lucy Beam. And it says Evaluation Center for Disturbed Women, Ward B. That is, you know, now, I will tell you in the chart, she explains the meaning behind this chart. This is, you know, it's funny, but at the same time, this is what actually happened during the late 1800s in Weston, West Virginia. There was a center set up there for women who purportedly had mental illness. And she is just paying homage to those women who endured so much there at that center. Now, let me tell you, she includes a list of reasons for admission, okay? This center was open from 1864 to 1889. I can tell you the reasons why some women were admitted to this, and you think about how far we've come. I'll just read you a few of them. Bad whiskey, business nerves, congestion of brain, disappointed affection, doubt about mother's ancestors. Let's see. Exposure and quackery. Imaginary female trouble. Now, you know, those things, there was one other one. Kicked in the head by a horse. Time of life. They were admitted. Now, can you imagine if their husband thought that she was going through menopause and she was moody and, you know, was having the menopause symptoms? He could have had her committed, you know. So anyway, it's a very serious chart, but it's also, you know, in our day and time, it's you know, whimsical. But the center was in West Virginia. It was in Weston, West Virginia, and I told my husband I wanted to go to Weston and find the site of that center. So I'm hoping that'll be a road trip for us at some point. But I put in on 5/13 and 5/14 527 stitches to get this one started. Now this is a 40 count. I'll put the name of it here. I forgot. I had every intention of writing it down. But it's a 40 count, and I just halved it and sent her the other because it's perfect. It's like an old rusty sign. And she's going to put Ward D on hers for her first initial. I was going to use Ward S, but I think I'm going to use the B because it's the town that I live in starts with a B. So this town has a lot of disturbed women. So anyway, we're all just irritated. So yeah, this is just, and I am having to, since the fabric has changed, you know, I've got limited fabric to work with, which is plenty though. It's plenty. I'm just taking some spaces out between the rows, you know, between the lines, and it's going to work out perfectly. But yeah, this is just too cool. It's perfect. And it was her first time stitching on 40 count, and she is in love. I said, I see more 40 count in your future, and she said, absolutely. But this needle minder is perfect too. It says, not my circus, not my monkeys. So those monkeys aren't going to disturb me anymore. Anyway, okay, that's my 5th start, and my 6th start for May, 6th and last start for this month, is number 13 on my Project 22 board, and I started it on the 14th. This is Love the Spring by Shakespeare's Peddler. Do you remember the scene in Willy Wonka where they're in the inventing room and he hops up on that stationary bike and starts pedaling, and he sings this little ditty, in the springtime, the only pretty ring time, birds sing, hey ding, a ding, sweet lovers love the spring. Remember that? This is what this chart says. It's actually a Shakespeare's quote, and I did not know that. But I know it from Willy Wonka, and it brings back so many memories for me, and I had to stitch it. I had to. So I'm using my own conversion for this one, and I'm stitching it on Demoiselle from Picture This Plus 36 count. I got in 522 stitches, and I started it on the 14th. So this is my progress. And I'm using some variegated from Carrie's Creations, just choosing my own colors. And I will be tweaking the chart a little bit as well. So there's what I have. And that's one color. That's one variegated floss. It's got green and like a pink, purple. Yeah, green, pink, and purple. So, and for the other little motifs in it, I'm going to use a play off of those. I've got a pale purple, I've got a pale pink, and then I have a soot from Carrie's that I'll be doing the darker parts in. So I think it's going to be really pretty. And I know that when my kids see this, they're going to smile. That's going to make them smile because they remember that movie and that song too. So, you know, I stitch a lot in like that things that, memories and things that make me happy, like Mr. Rogers. I've stitched Mr. Rogers. I've stitched Wizard of Oz, you know, things like that. And you know, it's fun. It's fun stitches, and it's things that make me, you know, feel good because I remember things, you know, I remember from growing up. So those are my 6 new starts. Now, on my Whipco board, along with number 13, which was a free new start, she drew number 8, like I said, and that coincides to Berry Mary from the Scarlet House. And I love this one. I saw this one at market in 2019 and fell in love with it, had to have it. And this one's goal is a finish, so hopefully this one will be finished this month. So let me show you where it was. And so far I've got in at 636 stitches this month, and there's where it is. The only thing I have left are, I think there's another snowflake over here, and the darker green leaves on the vine and the berries, and then I'll be done. So I don't see why I can't get this done by the end of the month. Isn't that pretty? There's 3 colors in those berries. There's a white, and then the darker part near the vine is 221, and then the paler pinkish color is Jakey Brown from Classic Colorworks. That's called for a lot, and I just can imagine how they come up with that name. Well, that's a Jakey Brown. I just wonder if that's how they came up with that color name. But this one is really, really pretty. This fabric was from my stash. I have no idea what it was, but it's very close to what the model is stitched on. So I'm enjoying this one. Now, number 13 New Start, we've already been over that. Number 14 was Coffee by Heartstring Samplery by Beth. I can't, there's something else. It's not just coffee. It's, I think it's part of the coffee series from her, and I started this one because, you know, coffee, but I have a goal of a finish on this one as well. So if I finish my Blue Ribbon Designs ornament and I finish Very Merry and this one, I'll have 3 finishes for the month. So I'm crossing my fingers. If not, these are whip go. I've got all year to get these done, so I can mark them off. So it's no big deal if I don't, but I just like to, I'd like to keep up with whip go. Here's where it is now. So you would have saw that all I had at first was the row of coffee beans across the top. And now I have the tree, the bird, and a couple words. Since I don't have a problem with coffee, I have a problem without coffee. My husband can attest to that. So that's my progress on that. Can't remember what fabric this is either. I'm not good with that, y'all. Because, you know, I just pick what I like. I hardly ever use the call for colors. So, okay, my last 2 projects to show you are off the Q-Snaps. These are 2 of my big ambitious projects that I worked on in May so far. I have a goal of 500 stitches on each one of these, and I met that goal on these 2. So I have 2 more and 1 alternate to go. So this one is Quaker Christmas by Bygone Stitches. And these are off the Q-Snap because I have to move it. So I thought I would show it to you before I move it. Here's where this one was. And in this one I have 510 stitches. Gosh, I love this project. Well, that board's not going to work. I'm just going to fold it. If I could only stitch one project to work on, well, no, I can't say that. I can't say I love them all, but this is up there. This is up there. 510 stitches, and here it is so far. I'm using 36 count Heartland. That's what it's on, and 1/2. I'm using Mulberry and Piney Woods from Gentle Arts. So I'm pretty sure I got this motif here. Well, y'all just seen it. I don't know. That's where it is. And that's where it's going. So it's got quite a bit more to go, but I am loving this. This fabric stitches like a dream. The threads are beautiful. It's just, the pattern's so easy to follow. Ugh. Love it. Love, love, love. And my last one to show you this time is Anniversaries of the Heart from Blackbird Designs. This one's off the Q-Snap because I finished my 7th block. It's the 3rd block on the top in the chart, but it's my 7th block, and you'll see. So I don't know if you recall, but I'm doing this one. I'm personalizing it for the women in my life. I am dedicating a block to all the special women in my life. So a lot of it it's not been personalized yet. I'm going to wait and do that at the end. I'm just getting the stitching done right now. I'm stitching this on a 32 count. I'm not really sure what color it was. It was like a really pale green. It wasn't water lilies, but it was a pale green. And then I coffee and tea dyed it just to grunge it up a little bit. Love the fabric. It's a good open weave. It's stitching beautifully. Yeah, this one's another one I adore. I think I started this one in 2019 on my birthday, I think. So I've been working on this one for a little while. But here's where this block was. And I'll show you the block first and then the project. So here is the finished block. It's the bonus, one of the bonus blocks. Well, do get out of the way. So there's that. Now that has that Jakey Brown in it too. And I am using the called for this. It's got the Jakey Brown. I had to actually order, I had forgotten I had a skein in that other project, so I ordered a couple more. But you know, it's called for a lot. So the it's got 3 shades of pink in it. It's really pretty. I like that sampler. It's stitched up really quickly because it's, you know, letters. So, and then here is the whole thing. I don't know if you're getting it in there. It's pretty big, but there's 7 blocks of that. There, 7 blocks. My arm's waving at y'all. So, yeah. So I'm going to come down here and start this one. It's Swan Lake. This one is Swan Lake. So that's the one I'll be starting next month. I'll be starting on the border of that one. So that's my stitching so far this month. I have in 5,930 stitches so far. So I'm really doing well with, you know, what I've got going on for May. I have a couple things I want to share with you that I got from for Retail Therapy and then Happy Mail. Like I said, got the Evaluation Center for Disturbed Women. I got that, and along with that, I got this Lone Elm Lane. This is Early Wooden Wares Designs. It says, "Sweet bird, thy bower is ever green, thy sky is ever clear. Thou hast no sorrow in thy song, no winter in thy year." And it's called Sweet Bird from Lone Elm Lane. I just thought that was so pretty. Isn't that pretty? And the little village back behind here, and he's in the foreground. I just love that. I love the colors. Really, really pretty. Early Wooden Wares and Designs. So I wonder if they have wooden wares too, but oh, look at that frame that they have it in. How pretty. It's like wormwood. Oh, so pretty. So I got that. I got another piece of my standby. This is Stormy Night. I know it is. Yeah, Stormy Night from Zweigart, Belfast. Now, if you are an Ada stitcher or an even weave stitcher and you've never tried linen, I can highly recommend the Zweigart fabric that 123 carries. The Belfast is 32, of course. Belfast is always 32. And this fabric is a dream to stitch on. It's a very friendly linen. And it would be an excellent linen to start stitching on linen on because the weave is kind of open, and the slubs are there, but they're not pronounced, you know, as much as other linens that I've stitched on. This is a good starter linen. You know, not this color, but any of them. You know, there's antique white, there's vintage country mocha, there's smoky something. But yeah, they're very good linens to start stitching on. And if you've been stitching a while, it's a relaxing linen, if you know what I mean, because you know some linens just make you uptight, right? but yeah, this Belfast is very, very relaxing to stitch on. And I also saw this from Seraphim Fabrics. This is Boston, and I just got a small piece of it. I've never stitched on Seraphim, so this is yeah, it's showing pretty true. It's a greenish blue, hand dyed, gorgeous. It's serged. All their Belfasts are serged that come from 123, but this is really, really pretty. Yeah. I also received some goodies from Fat Quarter Shop that I wanted to show you. Have you tried their bags yet? Let me tell you, these have quickly become my favorite bags. I have projects in these, and I'm anxious to get these 3 shown so that I can put projects in them. But these are their vinyl mesh bags, and I can't recommend them enough. They are sturdy, they're heavy duty, they're gusseted at the bottom so you can get a Q-snap in there easily. And they come with their little, it's so Emma, like leather look tab. And then there's a good heavy duty zipper. You can kind of see through them. And I can see my projects through these. So that's why I like them. You know, I haven't sewn any bags in so long. And I've got so many that I just need to put together. I've got everything ready. All I have to do is just sew the back to the front and they're done. And I just haven't gotten, you know, I have to get my husband to oil my sewing machine before I try to use it because I haven't used it in so long. But next to those vinyl front bags, these are my favorite. These are my favorites. And I will link these below. But this is their new Mad for Plaid series, and this one is called Misty. I'm gonna go ahead and open these because I'm gonna put projects in them soon, probably next month. This one is called Peony, pink, beautiful pink, and this one is called Bluebell. So Bluebell, Peony, and Misty. Ah, these bags. Love. And they're very reasonably priced too. So if you're looking for a good heavy duty bag, I'll link these below. Love. All right, what else I got here? Plans. Okay. I've got 2 more Bapatak pieces to work on. I've got Village of Hawker Hollow. I still don't have that red. My son still hasn't gone and got me. So I think I'm just going to order it myself. So I still need the red for that one, for that brick on that schoolhouse that I'm putting in. And then I've still got to work on Elizabeth. So those 2 will get 500 each. Then my alternate this month is Witch's Hollow. I know I worked on it last month, but I did that just because I wanted to. This month it's actually up. So I'll get to work on Witch's Hollow, and for 250 stitches at least. Now my goal on that one on WhipGo is 2,000 stitches. So that's kind of why I picked that one out. My alternates are on my WhipGo board, and their goal is 2,000 each. So once I finish the 2,000 on this one, I will pick up the next one. And my alternates are With the Needle 2, Witch's Hollow, and Christmas Village from Sarah Gormini. So those will be getting at least 2,000 stitches this year to meet that goal, at least 2,000. So hopefully I'll get some more work in them. And then next year, I think what I'm going to do is pick one of my BAPs and give it a higher goal every month, and with the goal of trying to get one finished by the end of the year. It might be anniversaries, because out of the 15 blocks, I've got 7 done. So I should have another 2 or 3 by the end of the year. I'm sorry. The neighbor has gotten his 4-wheeler fired up, and Bess does not like 4-wheelers. She does not. So she's fussing. I apologize. But anyway, she'll probably fuss some more because he's just shutting the gate. And there goes Penny. She's got to put her 2 cents in there too. So those, let me pause a minute. I'll be right back. Okay, I think she's done. I don't know, something else, a bug might fly by. 2 more Bapatak pieces and 1 alternate to work on this month. I want to finish my May section of Vintage Housewife from Lori Holt at Fat Quarter Shop, and then I want to finish my Blue Ribbon Designs ornament, my Berry Mary from Scarlet House, and my coffee from Heartstring Samplery. So that's my plans for the rest of the month. I'm hopeful, and then I may go back to, I may revisit that Few Have Died and see if I want to restart that, and you know, after I meet my other goals, if there's any month left, and then I may work on Disturbed Women a little bit more too, because I really would like to have that one done. So as far as what's going on here, nothing much. I am staying, you know, hibernating, and my husband, he volunteered to tear down a large camper. I don't know if I told you about this, but he volunteered to tear down a large camper trailer for one of his buddies in exchange for the scrap to haul off. And he's still working on that. He tells me every day, well, I'm gonna go finish up. The next day, well, I'm gonna go finish up, you know. So he's moving a little slow. He thinks he's, you know, still 30 years old, but he's moving a little slow. It's taking him longer than what he expected. And you know, he's been doing that, and I've just been kind of, you know, enjoying the quiet and staying in. He said that our ropes for magnet fishing are kind of dry rotted, and he's kind of afraid to use them because he doesn't want us to throw our magnet out and get a hold of something heavy and the rope snap and we lose our magnet. So those magnets are not cheap. So we're going to go magnet fishing. He's going to go tomorrow, and it's on his plan to haul some scrap off, and he's going to go tomorrow and get some new ropes at Harbor Freight. So we're going to get out and do that soon. You know, I've been on him to get it done, but you know, I'm at his mercy. So, you know, I can't go magnet fishing by myself, because that would not end well, I don't think, especially if I hook onto something. So, and you know, we've got plans to do some things, and I think it's going to be a fun year. It is. We signed up again for our wine delivery service. We get wines delivered every month, and that's fun. You know, I love seeing those, seeing what kind they send us, and you know, just having a good stock of wine for evenings that we just want to have wine with our dinner or whatever. So that's exciting, and you know, there's nothing much going on. And something I wanted to share with you: have you run upon the ambiance videos on YouTube? I have found a few of them earlier, but it seems like there's more out now. And what I'm talking about is there'll be a scene like a coffee shop or a flower shop or something, you know, like a little cafe, and it's an outside view, and it'll have little tables, and you know, the spring or whatever season, you know, background. And in these videos, they have like a crackling fireplace, or they have birds singing, or they have a thunderstorm, you know, going on outside, and it's a cozy little place. They'll have cups of coffee with steam coming up. You can see it. And they have animated, you know, certain things in the scene, and you can turn those on, and they'll have either like relaxing piano music, they'll have smooth jazz, they'll have like Zen type music, you know, the Indian kind of, I know you know what I'm talking about. I can't think of the word, but just relaxing, soft music, and they are just wonderful to stitch by. Instead of having somebody talking to me on TV or somebody talking to me on, you know, YouTube, I can put that on and just relax. I can light a candle, turn my diffuser on, and you know, just sit there, cuddle up with my stitching or my diamond painting, and just listen. I know I've liked smooth jazz for a lot of years, and it took me a while, when I did realize that I like it, to get the association of Christmas away from the smooth jazz, because when I was growing up, the only time I heard jazz was in Christmas music. You know, there's certain Christmas songs that are just jazz, you know, And every time I heard jazz, I would think of Christmas. And it took me a while to get my brain to turn that off. And I really like the sounds, you know, of a saxophone and piano, and just that just like music you would hear in a restaurant, or, you know, it's not elevator music. It's just relaxing. There are videos that will help you sleep, you know, the thunderstorms and the ocean sounds, things like that. But I will link a couple of my favorites below, and then you can see what I'm talking about and then do your own search and find what you like. You know, just spend some time relaxing before I go to bed. So my husband loves them too. He especially likes the ones that show the landscape, you know, and there's a couple of New Zealand that are just amazing. And, you know, I'm like, bucket list, you know, and he's like, yeah, bucket list. So, but yeah, there's some really, you know, YouTube has so much to offer. It's not just people talking to you or gaming or, you know, something like that. They've got some things that really, you know, relax you. And some of them actually don't have ads. You know, I haven't found very many that don't have ads. The ads, you know, you'll be so relaxed and all of a sudden somebody wants to sell you some braces or something, you know. So, but you know, that is a little irritating, but the music is just wonderful. I hope you're having a good day. I hope you are enjoying yourself, enjoying your stitching, enjoying your hobbies, and I will be back with a May wrap up soon. And until I see you again, happy stitching.